Are you thinking about getting started in property and you don't know how to get started in property? Now, let me tell you one simple example of how I built a 7-figure property portfolio in the last 24 months. Many years ago, I had a house that I lived in with my wife and my kids, and that house we lived for 13 good years. But having started the rent-to-rent strategy for 24 months, and I built a massive portfolio that retired me from my job as an Uber driver, I leveraged on that experience, and one day I came back home and I said to my wife, the house that we lived in for good 13 years, we're going to convert it into an investment property. It took me a couple of months. It wasn't very straightforward, but 6 months later, my wife eventually agreed with me and partnered with me to allow us convert the house that we used to live in into a property investment, into an investment rather. And we converted that property into a 6-bedroom luxury finished HMO. Now, let me run you through the numbers. This property, we had it for 13 years. The outstanding mortgage was literally less than £225,000 approximately on the top of my head. And we managed to secure a bridging finance on that property. We paid off the existing loan to the lender, and then we converted that house. We did massive alteration, a new layout, 6 en-suites, brand new kitchen, loft conversion, double story conversion. We added every single value that you can ever imagine. The property that had an outstanding mortgage of £225,000, around that figure, eventually we spent £153,000 on the refurbishment, and just on the top of my head, we ended up spending it just under approximately £483,000, and that property within 6 months revalued for £700,000. All right, and we put in a 80% loan to value mortgage on it. We refinanced it and we paid off the bridging loan, paid the builders, paid every other debt that we had, and walked away with just around about under £300,000 in a short space of 6 months. And using that momentum, today we've now been able to acquire multiple properties in our portfolio that's not giving us 7-figure. So if you're thinking of getting started in property, you might want to think about using your current home to get onto the property ladder. But again, this is not something that is quite advisable if you don't have the right energy, if you don't have the right knowledge, if you don't have the ability to do the right due diligences. This might not be something that you can do. But what could be another way? You might be able to leverage on your existing home by remortgaging your existing home and pulling out some cash from the house that you already own to actually creating an investment portfolio using the HMO strategy, house of multiple occupation, and buy that property, add value, exactly what I've just said with what I did with my existing home, and then using that money to refurb, to acquire the property, and then putting on a mortgage as well, and then paying the existing loan that you took off against your personal home. So there are multiple ways to getting started. How about maybe if you could find investors that can also loan you money to actually acquire assets. So on a nutshell, what I'm just trying to say here is that there are multiple creative strategies that you can use to getting started in property. Maybe all this makes sense to you. Maybe all this doesn't make sense to you. So every single Thursday, I run a 1-hour free property training masterclass starting at 6:30 and finishing at 7 o'clock every single Thursday. Somewhere around this video, there's going to be a link somewhere and they can click in, get yourself registered. We're going to be showing you simple steps and case studies of how I did this particular property that I just spoke to you about, the house I used to live in, where you can actually see the number. And I'm going to be telling you a full story, how I managed to do that and how I walked away with £300,000. And that £300,000 has now given me 7 more properties, and also leveraging on investors' finance and bringing multiple projects alive. I now fully do property full-time, and my wife is now also full-time in property. She just basically resigned from her job after working with a certain company for 25 good years. And that is what I call building a legacy and building a family that has the time, the freedom to do whatever they so please. So whatever it's your situation right now, you're looking to do the same, click on the link below somewhere around this video as well. And it's going to be 1 hour, and you're going to have the opportunity to listen in. And if you want to further, invest in yourself, yeah, you're going to have the opportunity as well to come to our 3 days boot camp where you can learn in-depth information, in getting your journey started. So if you've enjoyed this video, share it with a friend of a friend, post it on your social media, let people know that you can leverage on what you already have to creating wealth. And once upon a time I was an Uber driver, and today I'm a property millionaire, and you too can do the same for yourself. This video has inspired you. Please make sure to register to the book, get yourself registered to the free 1 hour masterclass, as I mentioned, where I'm going to be sharing the exact story on this property deal. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care. My name is Daniel Moses, and I'm the founder of Property Wealth Education.